Hey,
Yo, yo, yo.
how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, man. Can you hear us?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. How you keeping,
Oh,
mate? You all right?
finally. Yeah, you.
I'm
Not
good,
bad, not
man.
bad.
I'm good.
Yeah.
How you keeping at the moment with everything?
Yeah, not bad, mate, yeah. It's a bit depressing, ain't it, at the minute?
Yeah,
Nothing to do, like.
yeah.
What
That's
else?
that's that's the toughest thing. Is I think. Have you been able to work? Have you? Or
Uh, now and then, not every day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What do
As
you
and
do
when,
again?
really. Hey,
What do you do again?
driver's mate, so like delivering, installing washing machines, dishwashers, and
Hmm.
all that stuff, fridge freezers,
Yeah, yeah,
lifting heavy stuff all day.
yeah, yeah. Because it's a bit difficult, I suppose. Most people are having those days, even on the weekends, where you're just sort of in the house all day, and it can get a bit depressing.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of that, to be honest.
Yeah,
You just got
yeah.
to, keep positive and we'll get through it eventually.
Well, you end up just going for a walk around the local place or whatever, but it's still a bit. It's
Exactly, yeah.
not quite what it used to be, is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so I wanted to start with people getting to know the basics of you. So, where were you born and where did you grow up?
Oh, blimey.
For people who
So
don't.
I'm Reese. I'm 23. I was born in Sandwell or Warsaw. Yeah, I've lived here all my life, really, in the same house since I was born. 23 years. Yeah, my parents have been married 24 years. Yeah, so
Okay. And what would you say was your first musical memory? Was it something when you was really young? So like one of your first memories almost, or was it later on in life? Or
I think it was, oh, blimey, about 2013. That
okay.
that time I hit 18 and could start going to clubs and stuff.
Mhm.
I saw Sub Focus
Okay.
at the Institute in Birmingham,
Mhm.
and I was just blown away by all the visuals and just the sound. He had the room bouncing. I thought, wow, this is what I want to do. How do I get to be that guy? Yeah.
So
Oh,
was there anything before that in your younger years, maybe when you're a teenager or even when you're in like
no,
primary
no.
school?
When I was younger, I was like more into football. I was more of a football guy. Just playing football at school. We'd
Mhm.
go on the streets, play on the bikes, whatever, and play football.
Mm.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I wasn't really into music, to be honest, and I
Really?
ain't got a musical family, really.
Right. So you didn't listen to music much at all then?
No, not really. Just like pop stuff when I was younger, whatever was on the radio.
Mm.
Yeah, that's about it.
It surprises
Yeah.
me how many people say that because, like, a lot of the lads that I've spoken to, they all say like they only really got into music in their late teens and when they started going out. And I was like, you didn't listen to music really at all, like when you were like a young lad or whatever. And they're like, nah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because like
Ju-
for
ju-
me, it was completely different. Like it weren't that I didn't listen to music. Like I listened to like the rap music and I listened to completely different music to obviously what I'm into now. But I
yeah.
don't know anyone that was in the same position that was like a big fan of like other genres and then completely switched. Um, yeah, but it's weird kind of hearing how so many people didn't really have anything in them music wise because like some people they have like that memory when they're 5 6 years old of that one song that sort of kind of got them interested in music and maybe they got into music properly later on in life. But I
Mm.
hardly hear of that. It surprises me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just whatever's on the radio, or yeah. I've never played an instrument or learnt to play an instrument, whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, it helps if you can, if you're musically trained and yeah, produce music, like
Mm. So
that's a
this
whole nother
this gig
topic.
that you went to in Birmingham then that was when you was 18 you said.
Yeah, yeah, around then, 18, 19 probably.
So how long
Down at the
ago would that have
institute.
been? Would that have been 5 years, something like that?
2012, 13.
Right,
So that's like 7, 8 years, I think.
right.
Probably longer than that, yeah. 8 years, maybe.
What made you go to that? Was there anything in particular, or just going along with the mates and it ended up?
I just loved his music, to be honest. You know, Sub Focus, do you know him?
Hmm.
Yeah. I just loved his music and heard that he was doing a tour and stopping in Birmingham
Mm.
Institute.
Mm.
Had it download, see what it was about. It's a wicked show. A small venue, probably what, 500 capacity.
Are you talking
On a
about the O2
second
Academy?
Institute, Dan Digworth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. The partners, I don't know, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I think it was one of the smaller rooms, and it was about what, 500 capacity, like Ministry, 600 capacity. He just had the whole place, you know, energy,
Yeah.
100%, unbelievable.
So you went and
Yeah.
seen him then, and then what happened then? Did you just start going to more gigs, or?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's literally got into dance music. Well, that's what he was, electronic, wasn't he? He was producing a lot of electronic music, and it stemmed from there. Really, started going to more gigs. You know, started listening to more electronic music.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how I got into it. Really, it's about 2013, probably 8 years ago now.
So you
Yeah.
went to this first rave then, and then you started going to more gigs. Did you ever get into like DJing and then obviously producing, or how did that
Uh,
sort of come about?
as I say, I think it was from that seeing one guy control that many people and have the energy levels so high. I was a bit took back, like, you know, how do I get to be that guy? It's just unbelievable at the time. I was so young as well.
Hmm.
Just, you know, and then I got my first job, full-time job, working 40 hours a week, saved up for 3 months, brought 2 decks and a mixer, yeah, and got into DJing, doing it in my bedroom, you know, practicing every day near enough. Not so much anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I was younger, like every day, come home from work, straight on the decks, do a little mix, whatever.
So that was the first thing you got
Yeah,
into before producing.
yeah. I think was it. Yeah, I got into. I was always. I had my mindset on DJing, like, you know, and then I switched to producing as well. That was how old would I have been? 17,
Hmm.
I think. Yeah. So 6 years ago now, I started producing music. Yeah, yeah.
So what got you into production? Just
Uh, what got me into production? I don't know, to be honest. So I've been watching, you know, ultra live streams and EDC, whatever,
hmm.
and Tomorrowland for years now, since 2014,
Hmm.
I think. Yeah, I was just inspired by that movement, to be honest. Yeah.
Were you sort of under the impression that to get success and to be that guy on the stage, you've got to make music?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you could get there unless, you know, people heard your music, your tunes, whatever.
Yeah, I think a lot of lads are under that impression where they're never going to be able to get to the ultra main stage, the Tomorrowland main stage.
And it's tough as well, making music. You hear the big guys saying all the time, you know, work hard. You got to spend 8 hours a day. It's you know, a full-time job. Apart from I'm getting paid from it. Yeah.
So how did you come about producing then? Did you do like a course or
No,
main?
I'm all self-taught.
Oh,
Just
really?
watching like tutorials and yeah, things on YouTube. That really, yeah.
Right,
I've never been musically trained. I
right.
just learnt the theory over the years, like, you know, chords and melodies, how to put them together to make a track. Yeah,
Wow.
a lot goes into it. To be honest, it's very technical from an outside perspective.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's the thing that I struggle with because even just doing things like mashups and stuff, like I'm slowly getting my way into it and understanding it all, but it just gets so confusing sometimes. And like you say, you've got to be really technically minded, and
yeah.
I'm not massively technically minded. I'm more I don't know, just kind of I've got a goal, go and do it kind of thing, rather than
Mm.
having to break it down, and intricately take things apart and put things here and there, which is what you got to do in producing.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. Some lads I hear sometimes they take like 3 hours and they've got like an amazing track and they put it onto a big label or whatever. And I'm like, I've spent 9-10 hours trying to make this mashup and I still haven't finished it.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot of time to finish a track,
It's
It could take weeks.
Yeah.
To get all the details right, like. There's a lot that goes into it, to be honest, and it ain't cheap. Buying all the plugins, you have to buy tutorials. Some are free on YouTube, but if you want in-depth tutorials, you probably have to pay for them, But yeah, a lot goes into producing, to be honest. Like I say, I've been doing it 6 years. I've got nothing signed yet. I ain't really making money from it, to be honest. Yeah.
I think that's what we do it for. We do it because we love it, and maybe one day money comes with it. But I mean, me personally, anyway, I could do this to the day that I die and not make a penny. I'd be happy.
Yeah. I'm money driven, like, I could get a job if I want money. I've got a job, so.
Because I think at the end of the day, we all look at the big DJs on the stages and go, that'd be insane that we would never have to work again because we'd be doing that as our job. Obviously, that's the dream. That's why we're all doing it. But I think a lot of us would be just happy just to be able to have enough money where we can pay our bills and, survive.
Yeah, that's it.
As long as we can cover that, we ain't even bothered about making millions on millions as a DJ. Yeah. We're just happy making 40 grand a year or whatever,
exactly, yeah.
Average Joe job.
That'd be nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, who is your biggest inspiration?
I think most people already know this, but Nicky Romero.
Yeah, I knew that.
I followed the guy for years, watched all his streams, bought all his tracks, whatever. But when he's in the UK, I try and get to the show if I got the the money, whatever.
Yeah, I love him, man. I've followed him for ages. When did you get into him then?
I started following probably 2014. Yeah, 2014, I'd say. Yeah.
What?
After release Toulouse and that.
Okay.
Toulouse was a big hit, Barney.
Yeah. So what was like the thing that sort of caught your attention with him? Was there like a certain track or?
Toulouse.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It was unique at the time, wasn't it? Like, it was a different sound. I just thought, whoa, this is different. All the other guys like Zed and Hardwell making electronic, and then he come up with this weird sound. Boom, 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 boom.
It's funny because it's so different to the sound that he's sort of paved the way for, which is the progressive sound, isn't it? It's so
yeah.
Yeah, because like I say, it's I think most people have they found out about him through Toulouse and through similar tracks that he's made back then, but then people have then fell in love with him and kept on following him for his progressive stuff that he's made.
Yeah, that's why I started making progressive, to be honest, was because of me. I try and put my own sound to it, obviously, not copy it word for word, but.
What would you say your favourite track from him is?
Favourite track? Let me go through the catalogue. Off by heart, I couldn't tell you. Every track of his I like. His remixes for Martin Garrix and,
I've got a few, I'd say. I think my most important one, and here's a little backstory to my name for people out there who don't know, but a big part of the reason why I'm called Mr. Legacy is because of his track Legacy.
Really? No way.
Yeah. There's a story behind it that I'll tell one day. Maybe on a big stage somewhere I'll tell the story. But that's a big part. Not completely why I'm called that, but it's a big part of why I'm called that because of that track.
That's cool,
so,
man.
That plays a big part in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I love Heartbeat.
Heartbeat, yeah. Brilliant. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Computer.
Yeah. There's the There's a Stadium X one. I don't know if he's done a few with them, but there's one in particular that I really like. I couldn't tell you. You've got the catalogue in front of you there now.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, while you're looking for that, you say you sort of started practicing DJing at home and whatnot. Did you start getting into gigs and playing anywhere at all, or have you ever played out live anywhere?
I have, yeah, but not in a club environment. I think most clubs have already got their residents, and it's like their job, ain't it, to play in a club. They get paid every week, whatever. I've played at an event in Birmingham, Solihull, not far from here.
Okay.
Just like an exhibition. I can't even see. Exhibition. It's like where they showcase new DJ equipment, like speakers and little decks and stuff. Yeah, and people just walking by. I done a little set there, and I done a private function thing inside a Top Man store, Top Shop. 2 years ago now, I think. It was a private function. I knew the girl that worked there. Right. She told the manager, she said, "Oh, I know a DJ that could come, play some tunes." Right. I done that from 8 till 10, I think it was.
Right.
And the store was closed to the public, but it was open to friends and family who worked there. It's just like 25% off event, I think, or something like that. Yeah, so that was cool. Good experience to, actually DJ in front of people. And that's about it, really. I ain't DJed in a club environment yet. Hopefully soon.
Well, this is it. Doing things like that is building character, because a lot of DJs, I know myself included, and a lot of the lads that I know, they've never DJed in, for example, a shop before. And that's something that I'm kind of looking into as well, maybe when things open again.
Definitely, yeah.
There's a few places that I know of that I've got plans to go into and play in there. But it's going to be interesting to sort of see, because obviously you can't just go up from 128 and then go 150 and start playing hardstyle in next or whatever.
There's nothing clubby like, it's more relaxed music.
Like tropical house almost, that sort of thing, like Kygo and all that.
More chart stuff, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They don't want club stuff, in a store.
Well, I think you can get away with like house and deep house and things like
deep
that.
House, yeah.
Even the tribal stuff, like anything 110 BPM up to like 125, I'd say.
Yeah.
You maybe get away with 126, but you don't want to be going any higher than that. But anything like that would work, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because you've played them too then. So have you ever looked into like going to any of the other big clubs or anywhere like that? I'd
love a slot at Prism, but I don't think I'll get it, to be honest. In Birmingham. I'd love a DJ slot at Prism in Birmingham. Yeah.
Why don't you think you get it?
I've been there, like, backstage. I know a fella DJ who plays there. I don't think I'll be given a chance. They got the resident DJs already. I don't think they need more DJs.
That's the wrong way of looking at it, because you see, DJs are constantly changing in clubs like that. There's always a revolving cycle of DJs. I know you might think some guys have been there 4 years or whatever, but that might be the guy that plays Saturday nights, and he may only play every other Saturday night. And they might have, once a month spot on a Friday night where they've still got a guy vacant because he's not able to go there because he's playing another club. You just don't know.
He might have kids or something, commitments.
Yeah. Because obviously you've been backstage before. I think I seen you went to like the PBH and Jack Shizzle show, is it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. And you looked at possibly going and playing then, or?
I'd love to, but I ain't spoke to anyone about it that works there, the manager or nothing.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but it's like with what you're doing at the moment. You've got to apply what you're doing with your music to DJing. Because like I know you get out your music quite a lot. Like you make quite a lot of music, and you send it out. Like you're always sending your music to Nicky Romero, and I've seen you getting responses from him. So you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You've got that. I'm pretty sure you've been sending it to other DJs as well as him, and you're getting some responses as well. So what you got to do is take that mentality, what you're doing there, and apply it to gigs. But obviously, it's a bit more difficult in terms of you can't sit in your studio at home and then just go, okay, bang, I'm going to send that track to him, to him, to him, to him, that label, this people. It's a case of actually, no, this time when it comes to gigs, in my experience anyway, you've actually got to get out your office or wherever your studio.
Definitely,
Go out into the big world and go and find them.
Yeah.
And that is tough. It is tough.
And I watched your previous podcast, and you was on about introvert and extrovert. You're more of an outgoing guy, chatty guy. I'm the opposite. Really? I'd rather sit in my bedroom for 8 hours and produce music. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. People are different, aren't they?
But there's nothing wrong with that either, because I'd say the vast majority of the guys that we see now on the big stages, they got there because of what you're doing, because they just had their head down in the studio for ages. Then they started releasing some tracks that, really got traction with some labels and some big guys, and they started playing it, and people start knowing your name. Then before you know it, you're playing the biggest clubs in the country. Then all of a sudden you're playing the biggest clubs in the world. So
exactly, yeah.
Not doing that whatsoever. If you can combine the two, you're onto a winner. Because I tell you what, that's the thing that sort of bums me out a bit about me, and sort of, I don't know, maybe like the skill set that I was given in life, I guess you could say, is that I'm very practical. Like I did horrendous in school, because school is obviously very theoretical. And that's just not for me whatsoever. That environment, I'm very much a sports guy, a hands-on.
Yeah.
Go out and
that's like me, to be honest. Well, I'm very good in school. I never concentrated, never read books. It just wasn't for me. I couldn't do that. But with music, it's got all my attention, because I enjoy making the music.
That's interesting, that is, because a lot of the lads like you that I know that I'm mates with, sort of more almost introvert, like you say, they usually, hence why they're, producers and good producers, they usually did quite well in school, and they were quite good at sitting down and being able to do tasks, on a piece of paper or on a laptop. That's why they're able to do it in their own home. So it's interesting that you say that weren't the case.
I'm like you, to be honest, more of a hands-on person,
right?
Rather than up there.
Yeah, right.
It's different with music though. I've learned, the basics. I'd say I'm more advanced with music production now. I've taught myself the theory, chords, melodies, how to put them together to make a track.
That's awesome. That is, I love that, because like that just shows like a lot of people out there that they doubt themselves because they think, okay, I wasn't very good in school with this, or I wasn't very good with that, or whatever. Then later on in life that they're going to do horrendous. And it's like, that's just not the case. Like, you've proven right there that you wasn't very interested in school. You weren't probably, and therefore it's the same with me. You're not interested in school, so you're not going to do well in something you're not interested in, because you're not going to put any effort in.
Exactly, yeah. You're not going to listen. You're not going to concentrate.
It was the same with me. So you end up in a position where you're like, okay, well, of course you're not going to come out with good grades. But then you think to yourself, oh no, what am I going to do with my life? Because I can't do anything like that. But you took a situation where school is like an office type environment where you've got to sit down at a desk and do tasks. You've applied that to something that you actually do really enjoy, and you've thrived. So that I love hearing things like that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because like a lot of people,
got to be clever.
No. Well, you proved that right there. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say that in life you've got to, have good grades and do well in school to have a good career. I couldn't disagree more, because like I did absolutely crap in school when it came to grades and whatnot. And
there's nothing wrong with that, is there? School ain't everything.
No. Well, I'd say it's actually very little. Like, if you can do good in school and you enjoy it, fair play. But if you
Yeah, yeah,
don't worry, because there's a million other opportunities in life that come afterwards.
exactly, yeah.
And people don't even think about that.
Mm,
So like I
exactly.
say, I was horrendous in school, and so I believe what I was told about, society, and that if you don't do well in school, you won't get anything in life. And so I kind of believed that. But when I left
Mm,
school, a couple of years after leaving school, I set up my own business. And now at 22, I've got a full-time career, self-employed with my own business, which I never could have dreamed of. So it's nice that you can know, like me, like you don't have
mm,
to be very good in school. You don't have to be, very good at specific things like that. Doesn't mean you can't go and achieve, um, really, great achievements other places.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, that shows more than anything that it was just a case of not necessarily you're not good at sitting down and working. You're just not good at doing it in things you're not interested in, which is the
Mm,
case for most people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to ask you as well, something I've not asked anyone before. Um, if I was to say to you, look, mate, you'll be successful at it, but you can only do one thing. Would you rather take the production route or the DJ route?
Production, 100%.
Really?
That's if I can get paid the same amount from doing both,
Hmm.
I'd take production.
Really?
Like I say, I'm an introvert. I
Yeah,
don't go
yeah.
out much. I go
Right,
to the odd show, once a month, um, maybe twice a month.
right.
Most time on in here producing.
That,
Mm.
that, that that's I like that a lot, because a lot of guys, I think that's more rare, because a lot of guys in this industry anyway would sort of go more for they want a DJ, because obviously you
Mm.
live the high life. You go, especially if you're the top guys, you're going to be on a private jet. You're going to be backstage with all these celebrities. You'll be getting hammered for free. You're going
It
to be on
looks
stage.
glamorous from the outside, but trust me, I know the work that these big DJs do. Spend like half the life in the air, away from the families, for 8-12 hours a day, probably more. It
Sometimes I
looks
do.
glamorous from the outside, but
Yeah.
as an insider,
Well,
you know,
like you're saying there, we almost get that square box of what we see on Instagram, but there's all this
mm,
shit happening around it that we don't see, like
yeah,
the 12-hour flights and things like
a
that.
lot of legal stuff, contracts. That's why they got managers to deal with that side of stuff.
Yeah, because I think like a lot of the guys as well, they always say how they're having to play like 3 gigs in one night and they don't get any sleep or whatever, and I'm like, oh,
Mm,
I think I'd die if I didn't get any sleep in
take
3 gigs
it
in
out
one
here,
night.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think that's what happened with like Hardwell and stuff, is you just end up with a complete burnout. And
It's a flying, ain't it? It's like you go on a flight for
mm,
4 or 5 hours and you got
mm.
jet lag for the next 2 days.
Yeah, and
It
these
just
guys are flying
sucks
from
energy
here.
out here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These guys are flying from here round to Asia, round to America. Not
Every other
even
day.
short flights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shows constantly throughout the summer. I don't know how
So
they do it.
that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected to hear that.
Yeah.
So in that
I
case,
like
then,
to say, yeah,
sorry, carry on.
I'm more of an introvert, I'd much rather the producing.
So in an ideal world, then, what would be your big break?
I think it would have to be a track to blow up,
So
to have that big break.
you'd get a track sent off to Nicky Romero and he'd preview it to the world, something like
And
that.
then get big support off all the other big guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It'd have to be a really good track, like, well mixed and mastered, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some good vocals.
And are you
But,
fairly confident in your ability that, maybe in the next year or so, 2-3 years, or you feel like you've still got a bit more fine tuning with
I don't
your
know. I don't know.
Mm. Have you ever?
Recently, I've been doubting myself a lot, and doubt is what kills you off.
Yeah, yeah.
It really does. I'm thinking, what's the point? I ain't getting nowhere.
Yeah,
But
I, I,
you
I
just got to think positive, like, you know.
it's really difficult. I was saying to Graham, one of the lads I interviewed last weekend. It's really difficult to try and stay focused, especially with what's going on, because sometimes it just feels like obviously the reason that I DJ, the reason that you'd want to DJ, and the reason you make music is more than anything so we can have it be played to a crowd, not just so it can be played on a radio show. We want it to cause a reaction to people live. That's
Definitely.
really why we do it. And so it's been nearly a year of this now, and so we're almost at that point where we're like, sometimes you just think, oh God, am I ever going to play to a crowd again? Am I ever going to even have that opportunity for a DJ to play to a crowd my music? Because it feels like so long ago.
I think what it is with the DJ scene, there's too much spotlight on the big guys, and there's nothing for us upcoming guys. You know what I mean? You see every EDM blog, it's Nicky Romero this, Armin this, Hardwell this, Tiesto that, and then nothing about smaller DJs like DLD, Raven and Crayon, Keanu Silva. You know, smaller DJs. There's hardly anything about them. Yes, they're getting tracks signed, but I think all the spotlight's on the big guys. If you look what's happening with all the EDM blogs. So I just don't see where there's room for an upcoming guy.
Yeah, it's an interesting shout. Almost like even what we've just been saying. You'd hope that Nicky Romero, for example, would want to pick up your track and get it out there. But a lot of the time as well, like I think with Fisher's track when he blew up, I think that was more smaller guys that was just playing it, and then more people started to hear it rather than it being one big DJ here playing it on the main stage or whatever. And you don't hear many people talking about, I just want to get it out there into the masses rather than I want one guy to play it and then it will have that big break.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is the problem with this type of industry, is there's no rule book, there's no sort of method of how you do this. I can't say to you, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then you'll get there. Like if you want to be, say, an architect, you go to university, or you go to school first and you make sure you get good grades. Then you go to university, get good grades there. Then you go and get a job and bang, you're an architect. It's not as simple as that in the music industry. No. It just ain't as simple as that.
It is tough, to be honest.
It'd be nice if it was as simple as that, because it'd make life a lot more easier and bloody won't be so much stress. How do you sort of cope with everything going on at the moment, mental health wise? Do you sort of sometimes just plow yourself into production, or?
It's a funny story, because this is why I got into production in the first place, because of mental health. I'd make music and it would just take my mind off things, make me feel good, make uplifting music. So that's a fun story.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why I got into it, was because of mental health.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like happy, and it take my mind off things, like,
Well, I think, and this is what I've said with the lads before, is, to me anyway, dance music, and particularly, I think everyone agrees, more than anything, progressive evokes a real emotion inside you that just makes you happy. Like, and you feel amazing. Like, if you're maybe having a bit of a crap day and then, you're driving home or whatever, you hear like an amazing progressive song that just uplifts you and you just go, like, I don't know.
I like to think as well, you can hear that in the music. It starts off quiet with just chords and like pads, emotional. Then it builds up to the drop, and then the drop hits, and everything's 100% bang, full energy. I try to put the emotion in the music. You can probably hear that in some of the tracks. They just start off, slow, and they build up faster. And everything comes on the drop.
Yeah, because I don't think, certainly from speaking to other people anyway, when you look at other genres of music, you know, rock music, rap music, all these different, all the pop charts or whatever, I don't know anyone that says to me, oh, you know, it just invokes this emotion in me, this song from rap music, rock
Mm.
music. You don't get that. People enjoy it,
Nah,
they
nah.
like it, but it doesn't actually invoke an emotion. Whereas like progressive particularly, but also a lot of dance music invokes an emotion in you, and it really warms you up.
That's why I love it, to be honest. There's that much emotion.
Mm.
You see it on the big stages, like, you know,
Mm.
it really affects people in the crowd.
Mm.
People in crying and stuff, getting married to Martin Garrix. It's crazy. What if the genre can do that?
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
have a rock concert, download festival, you know? So
You wouldn't see that there. I mean, like you said as well, you go into Victoria Warehouse or whatever and see Third Party, and you look around and there's just a bunch of lads crying. But it's brilliant. I love it. Man. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Standing there with a beer crying.
Yeah. Coming into your beer.
Oh, man.
I love it, man. Another thing that I wanted to sort of talk to you about, because me and you actually did speak, well, probably a year, longer ago. And one of the things that I ranted on a bit about and we got chatting about was the UK scene in terms of dance music. Because a lot of people might not know, but me and you, we're from the same town, but just different.
Same city.
Yeah, you're from northwest Birmingham, Walsall, and I'm from south of Birmingham.
That's like the other side of Birmingham.
That's it.
Probably
Yeah.
45 minutes away.
The opposite side of Birmingham. That's it.
Yeah.
But like the lads that I've interviewed just before you, they've all been from Liverpool, and it's funny talking to them how they moan about how crap their scene is, and I go, You're moaning? I was like, mate, come to Birmingham.
Nothing.
Me and you were just like, excuse me? You know, they get bloody Steel Yard every year in December. They have, obviously, they've got Victoria Warehouse, which is only down the road. But they've always got gigs going on in Liverpool and in the small.
That's where it was born, wasn't it? Cream, Liverpool, Manchester.
Yeah. That's it. There's so much going on up there. And then, like, I'm looking at you like, mate, they're complaining. Like, they have bloody, obviously, it's not happening anymore. But they had Hardwell on Hardwell, Go Hardwell, Go Home. And you'd have, like, W&W on the lineup as well. They'd have that every year. They'd have...
Life in Colour.
Yeah, exactly. Life in Colour. They've got the Hellfires now. Like, they have 3, 4, 5 big events every year. We have had one big event in about 5 years.
And we have to travel up to them.
Yeah.
In Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean,
every time.
Some people like some of the lads that chat to me, and I bet they've probably said to you, like some of the lads from up north, they'll say, "Oh, you're lucky, you're not that far from London." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an equal distance from London to you. Like, I've got to travel either way 100 miles. Like, I have to travel to go to a gig. I can't just walk down the road or whatever." It's such a pain in the arse.
The one EDM gig I can remember in the last 5 years was when Timmy Trumpet played the Institute.
Was you there?
That's only I don't go.
Oh.
That's only one time I can remember a big DJ coming to Birmingham.
I was there. You see that?
Was it there?
That pink picture there above my hand?
Oh, yeah.
That's me and Timmy at the O2 Institute. Yeah. I got the only picture of the night. But, mate, I remember being there, and that was a brilliant event. And I remember texting him on Facebook Messenger. I said, "Oh, amazing event." I was begging him. I was like, please come back next year. We've got nothing here. Please come back. And he actually responded to me. I'll have to get it up. He responded to me and he was like, "Oh, awesome night, mate. I'd love to come back." But it's such a bummer because, like I've said to the guys before, Birmingham used to be the best place in the country for raves.
Yeah, it did, yeah. They used to book everyone. A Gay Crasher, Angelo, Prids, Harris, Romero, Ghetto.
Calvin Harris played, did he?
Yeah.
Really?
It's on YouTube. 8 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Well, it's longer than that. Gate crasher.
I've watched like the Hardwell videos where they're inside the club, and I've seen like videos of people like filming inside there when he's playing. I've not seen the Calvin Harris ones though.
David Guetta, Angelo,
Really?
Axwell. Yeah, everyone.
I didn't know Guetta played there either. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've got the two main things that we always had was Gatecrasher, but we also had I don't know if you might have been, because how old are you again? 23.
23, yeah.
Yeah, so you're only a year older than me. Because did you ever hear about Global Gathering?
Yeah. On the airfield.
That's it. Yeah, that's only 5 minutes from me because it's my
Is it
side.
really?
Yeah. My side of Birmingham. That is. It's only 5 minutes away. Because where I live, it's sort of like going into the countryside out of Birmingham kind of thing.
Yeah, it's nice, Redditch.
Yeah. And so it's literally the part of Redditch that I live in is between Redditch and Stratford, where it is.
In the country.
In the countryside, exactly. And
Yeah.
so I remember like seeing the lineups for that. And like the lineups, some of them, they were better than Creamfields now.
There was.
They were ridiculous.
Yeah.
I bet you probably sat at home looking at them as well at the same time as me, like, oh, I wish I could go.
Yeah. I was never old enough, so over 18, wasn't I? I wasn't 18 at the time.
Well, I told Graham, one of the lads, that I was, I think it was 2014, they announced the lineup for the year. They announced it in like the January of 2014. And obviously it was going to be in like July or whatever. And I remember seeing it on the Facebook page because I think Hardwell made a post about it. Oh, I'm coming to this place. I was like my idol is going to be playing 5 minutes from my house. And then I clicked online and I went to buy tickets and it said over 18s only. I was 16. It was my last year of high school and I started crying. I sat on my bed and started crying. I was like, I can't see.
To be honest, I would have jumped over the fence or snuck past the
honestly, it's such a bummer. It's like
I've seen it on YouTube. Jack and Zay, Jack and whatever his name is, Zach and Jay, a Creamfields have snuck in as Binman, I think it was, and they went backstage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was
they went backstage doing a feature? Huh?
Was that Creamfields or Global Gathering?
Yeah, a few years back now. Yeah, I think the video's still on YouTube somewhere.
But look at this lineup, right? 2014, okay. I'll pick out the favourite ones of mine. So on the Friday night, you had David Guetta, Tommy Trash, Sonny James, Ryan Marciano, Vice Tone, Daddy's Groove, Oliver Heldens, Will Sparks, Danny Avila. Then on another stage, you had Prids, Pete Tong, back-to-back Eats Everything. That's more of a techno stage.
Jesus, some big names.
But that was the Friday. Then the Saturday is even better. Alesso, W&W, Cruella, Artie, Otto Knows, Andrew Rael, Dub Vision, Ray Connolly, Dirty South as special guest.
Jesus.
And you're like, what?
All the big DJs.
You're like, what?
That is mental.
How is that even real? And then
flying them into Birmingham.
What's that?
Flying them into Birmingham.
Yeah. They just found the corner at Birmingham Airport. And it's like, oh my God. Like,
all these big
here's
superstars.
He's the one from 2012. Listen to this. This is ridiculous. 2012 lineup. Steve Aoki, Hardwell, Madian, Porter Robinson, W&W, Artie, Matzo, Gareth Embry special guest.
Jesus.
And that was on the one stage. The other stage, Dash Berlin, Marcus Shaw's, Alien Feeler, Andrew Rael.
Trans lineup.
Yeah. But you look at them. Oh, yeah, that was all on one day. This is on the same day at another stage. Nicky Romero, bingo players, Danny Howard, Michael Woods, Sander Van Dorn.
He was good back in the day, Sander Van Dorn. I used to love his old sets. He's still good now, but...
Have you heard the track that he made, Tribal?
I know. I don't really listen to his new stuff, to be honest.
No. This was like 6 years ago, probably.
A while ago. Yeah, I probably have. I've probably heard it, yeah.
But yeah, man. You guys need to be more humble up in Liverpool and Manchester and down in
I
London.
know, yeah,
Yeah, people
definitely.
complaining in London as well. Oh, yeah, there ain't not much going on.
They got the
Excuse
best
me?
pub in the world.
Yeah. You got that. They got Southwest
Jesus.
4. Southwest 4, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Southwest 4, yeah,
They
Clapham
got
Common.
that. They got Printworks as well.
Printworks, yeah, that's a new one.
And then if they're into the more tech house, they've got like Egg and they've got Fabric and they've got a few other places.
Oh,
People
right.
don't know how lucky they are.
I know, yeah.
But
I think round here, it's all like tech house and boring stuff, ain't it?
yeah, I think you were like in that sense. You're just like, oh Christ, frigging tech.
It's all about the EDM, mate. All
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the
Did you
EDM.
look at the because I started getting to them a bit more, and I was hoping, I think in 2020 last year, they were going to be doing more gigs. You know, at the Mill.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they were doing
The
like
trance
quite a few
events, don't
events.
they?
But that's it. They were doing trance events, and then they were going to start doing a bit more EDM events, I'm sure.
Hellfire.
Yeah, because
They're doing a world
that's
tour,
it.
aren't they?
That's it. Yeah, they had that. I think it was Darren Styles and a few other guys.
Yeah.
But like they were doing that.
I was
Paul Van
thinking of
Dyke.
that one.
Yeah. I
One.
think that was in the April, weren't it? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been on my
It
frigging
meant to be this
birthday.
year,
That
wasn't
would have been amazing. And then in the May, they had Paul Van Dyke come in and like a few other guys.
Ali and Feeler, wasn't he, as well? On the same
In
line.
Ali and Feeler, did you ever see them there?
I never went.
Oh, mate. I did.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal. Ali and Feeler played back. No, back to back. It was Ali and Feeler and Ferry Corsten headlining.
Yeah,
That was on my birthday night. That was unreal.
Yeah.
It was them two, and then I think like Menno de Jong supported and someone else. I can't remember who else. But
yeah, it's a good lineup.
it was amazing, especially for
Yeah.
Birmingham. We were like, oh my god. So I went to that, and that was on my birthday night. But then there was an after party for that at another club, and you know Chris Schweizer.
No.
He's like on Armada. I'll send you some of his stuff afterwards. He's so heavy. He's like trance, but like EDM style. It's unreal. And he played an after party at another club. That was an amazing night. But I did that, and I also did the Anjuna Beats night. Did you ever go to that?
No. Was that at Birmingham?
Unreal. That was in the Mill as well, because they were doing like a little tour in December of 2019. I don't know if you remember.
I think I remember it being announced.
It was like a
I don't
yellow
get tickets
sort of
or
back
nothing.
page, and then they had yellow in the back, and then they had the lineup.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I bet that was class,
amazing.
Yeah. It's Grum, Marnie. Grum.
Grum, Genix, Gabriel, and Dresden.
That's it. Yeah, Genix. Yeah.
Unreal lineup that was.
Yeah.
So, more than anything.
Yeah, I saw it announced. Yeah.
Yeah, more than anything, I
see.
really hope that like those places survive. Like, if anything, I hope that out of this, maybe more people will be tempted to go into the rave scene from the club scene and sort of throw that out again, and maybe sort of out of Digbuff, get the raves back into the rest of the city, into Prism, into the other clubs. That would be my dream, man. I
prefer clubs to big festivals, you know. It's just a better vibe. As a fan, anyway. I don't know about as a DJ.
What do you mean? Like,
I prefer small clubs in, like, you know, Victoria Warehouse and that, as opposed to a big festival.
Okay.
With 70,000 people.
How come? Is it just?
It's just I just feel it's a better vibe.
Right.
It's more intimate, like, you know, with the DJ as well. Better connection.
Having said that, though, which festivals have you been to then?
Creamfields, V-Fest, Fusion Fest. Yeah, them three, I think. Yeah. I went Creamfields 2018, 2019, I think. Yeah. V-Fest 2014. And then Fusion Fest 2015. Yeah.
Who knows? You might change your mind if you go to tomorrow.
I just think, I don't know, you're too far from the DJ. Like AMF Festival, Amsterdam.
Have you been?
I don't agree. Huh?
You've been there, haven't you?
Yeah, last year, 2019. Yeah. Or 2 years ago now.
I'll keep back at that mistake. Oh,
I
God.
don't enjoy it, to be honest.
Really?
The music was good, and you know, production was next level. Like you can
Yeah.
tell that's why you pay £70 a ticket, whatever it is.
Jesus Christ.
But you can just like 3 miles from the DJ. He's like this,
Yeah.
and you can just see the logo behind him on the
Yeah.
LEDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think maybe more for you, you appreciate the production side of things rather than the actual everybody fucking
Yeah,
all that stuff. So for
that I'll
you,
stand at the back
yeah,
to
yeah,
see the whole production.
right,
If you're front row, you're looking up. You're
yeah,
missing half the stuff over your
yeah,
head.
yeah. But I think like a lot of people, they go because they want to get smashed up with their pals and have a laugh. Whereas I think you probably go more so that you can actually listen to amazing production,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
listen to amazing
definitely.
tracks. So you're there purely for the listening experience, and
Mm.
so that would fit you being in a place like Ministry. I mean, I think I've been to Tomorrowland twice now. The main stage is, you know, obviously it's probably the most legendary place in the world for any DJ.
Yeah, for sure.
The sound system is ridiculous,
Is
but
it?
I'd say the best sound system in the world is still Ministry. In
First
the
time I
world.
went there, 2018. The bass on your chest, unbelievable. It took me back. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, you got backstage when you seen that Lucas and Steve gig, didn't you?
Mm.
And being up there, it like doubles. Like
Yeah.
the sound,
The floor's going like this.
it's stupid. Like you go backstage and the whole room is shaking. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I can see why you would like that more because I think, like you say, you're more of a technical ability guy, and you appreciate a good track for what it is, rather than like, for example, I think you prefer the more technical stuff to left, right, right.
All together now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're more of sort of a breakdown and really intricate track rather than
Yeah,
come on now, everybody.
Get your hands up.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. Oh God.
That's what it is, to be honest.
Mm.
Well, Ministry, you know, the first time I went there, I thought, wow, this is the best environment I've been in. Yeah, sound system is next level, honestly.
Never heard anything like it, right?
That bass beating your chest, you can't beat that, honestly.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, anybody who says, you know, anybody around the world, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in America, wherever you are, if you want to claim that you've got the best club in your country, you have to go to Ministry before you can say that. Because I'm telling you now, the best sound system in the world, to most people, they'd think, oh, it's around our main stage. It's unreal. Like, it's unreal that they've got such a giant scale, so many people, and a ridiculous, thunderous sound system. It's just not quite as good as Ministry's. Ministry is just next level, and I challenge anybody to find a better sound system.
It's like the bass, just that 10%. I don't know. It's still like, what, 120 decibels probably in a club.
Yeah.
It just the bass. I don't know.
Did you know how they made it?
It's custom in the corners, ain't it? Them custom big box things.
Yeah, well, so, you know Dolby Atmos? They came in, obviously Dolby Atmos, I think they've got two branches. They've got like, well, I think they've got Dolby Vision, which is like the movie side of things. But then they've got Dolby Atmos, which is the sound side of the company. Because that's why you see, like, on the sound bars nowadays, a lot of them brag that they've got Dolby technology in them, because that's like a big brag kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dolby, I believe they came in to Ministry and they looked at the room, and I'm sure they went away and worked on it for about 6 years, just designing the positioning of the speakers and then intricately doing all these different things, doing all the different sound deadening and making it absolutely perfect. So I don't know of any place that has had so much effort and time purely put into sound design of a room as that place. Like, they had Dolby Atmos, the leading sound company in the world. They spent like 6 years on it, just making it perfect.
I never knew that.
That's why it's so good. Because I think they came back, and started on that room like in 2006, and then I think they finished it like 2012. But like you ask DJs around the world now, like some of the biggest DJs out there. I mean, I've spoken to them backstage. They all say that's the best sound system in the world. So take it from them, it's not from me.
When that bass is pumping and you can feel that kick drum, it just gets everyone moving. You know what I mean? You can't just stand still.
It's literal. It's like thunder times 10. But a lot of the time, if you go to like maybe like you say, if you go to a festival or whatever, when they're playing music loud, obviously sometimes it then distorts the bass and the music starts to distort. That is the only place where you will sit here and feel the bass shake your body so much, but the sound still be completely clear.
Clear, yeah, the high end.
It must be a sound tech's dream, that place.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like at festivals, you can't get that sound, can you? Because you're miles away from the speaker. That bass response.
Yeah, so want to go back to like your production then?
Yeah.
So you obviously sort of self-taught in terms of learning how to make music. So how did you get from that point to then the point where, okay, I've got a track in front of me that I feel I can send off to a big label?
Hard work. A lot of investment. It's hard work. It is. You got to put the time in, hours. They say you need to have 10,000 hours, production hours, until you're decent. That's quite a lot. Most days, I'm making music. It's sacrifice, commitment, dedication, hard work. Everything the big DJs will tell you. If you try doing it yourself, you'll know it's very technical unless you know what you're doing. I think I'm at that stage now where I understand it, and put together a track. It's just about mixing it and getting it to sound perfect, ready for the labels.
I think that's a rule that I've heard before applied to a lot of things. Like even when people are talking about like learning MMA and jiu-jitsu and things like that, where you've got to put 10,000 hours in to the point where then you can be perfect at it. You have to put in those 10,000 hours no matter what. And so I think that applies along everything.
You got to be so committed as well.
That's it.
If you're half in it, then you can forget it. Like, you got to be 100%.
But these are the things that people don't want to hear. They want to hear that, you just get a quick big break off somebody and that's it, click your fingers and it's done. They don't want to hear that you've got to spend thousands and thousands and you've got to spend hour after hour after hour dedicating yourself to it. Like, your mates will be going out on the weekend or whatever and they'll ask you out and you've got to pick, do you do that or do you, stay at home and try and make
Sometimes family will say, "Oh, you coming out for a meal?" I'll say, "No, I'm busy. Like, I'll just be making music." That stuff don't interest me.
Sometimes they'll look at you and be like, "Oh, you're unsociable."
I'll forget it then.
Yeah. You're just like, you just don't get it, do you?
I'm saying it'll pay off. In 5 years, it still ain't paid off.
It'll pay off, mate. You just got to.
But in the end, yeah.
You just got to keep hammering away at it. Trust me, mate.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll tell you what you've done. You're in the 1% out of producers in the sense that Nicky Romero knows about your music. Not many producers can say that at all. Like a lot of the guys that even I like some of the smaller guys. That say I've got a bigger following than even me and you, but they're not big. Like they've not been revealed or protocol or whatever releases. They're on the small labels. I'll be playing their tracks and I love them. But even Nicky Romero and Hardwell don't know about them yet. So the fact that you've cracked open that Nicky knows about you and he's responding to your stuff, that's big.
When I had a call with him a few weeks back.
Really?
And I asked him for his personal email. And it turns out I've already been sending tracks to him the past 3 years on that personal email. Yeah.
Wow.
I got it off someone else. And I'll look to see if I've sent him any emails in the past. And I've sent him 4 or 5 maybe with different tracks. Most of them sounded shit. There's probably 1 or 2 that sounded good out of 15, 20 tracks.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you say you had a call with him or what?
Yeah, I won that call with Reewil, wasn't he?
Oh, really?
2 or 3 weeks ago now. Yeah. A 40-minute Zoom call, whatever.
Give us an inside scoop.
He just said, keep going, man.
Yeah.
I said, I'm starting to doubt myself now, as if I ain't getting nowhere. I said, all the spotlights on, the big DJs and people at the top. I said, it's hard to get a foot in the door, He said, just keep going. I mentioned about a remix contest. I don't even met the top 60. And he said, look, I'm speaking to Zed now. And showed me his phone. He's texting Zed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, did he give you any big pieces of advice or anything to sort of watch out for in the industry, anything like that?
Nah. He just said, keep at it, keep working hard. You'll get there.
Well, the fact that, like I say, he's been replying to your stuff online and he has listened to your tracks before.
The built up the connection.
Yeah. That's, mate, you've got something that most guys our sort of size don't have at all.
Most people want. I'm fortunate, to be honest.
Massively.
We've got that connection.
Massively.
He's watching what I'm doing, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. But this is it. You've got to use that as motivation and say to yourself, the days when you're down and you're thinking, oh, I don't feel that I'm getting anywhere or whatever. You've got to keep that in your mind and think.
Most people want to be in this position.
Most people would do anything to be in that position where they've got his personal email. They can send him stuff straight away. Most people
don't always check it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You've got to bear that in mind because you're in a privileged position, but you've worked hard for it.
Absolutely, mate. I've been doing
Grab
it 6
onto
years.
that and don't let go of it. Bloody awesome that is. So next thing I was going to talk about is out of all sort of the subgenres of EDM at the moment, is there anything that you think might blow up in the next few years? Because obviously I'd say the last few years, the biggest thing to blow up is obviously Psytrance with Vinny Vici. So is there anything that you can see in the next few years blowing up and becoming like...
I think hardstyle.
Really?
I really do.
Yeah.
I can see a movement within the hardstyle world. People keep telling me, oh, listen to this, sending me hardstyle tracks. I say, I ain't into it. It ain't my thing. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I do like a few. There's a few good hardstyle tracks, but it ain't really my thing,
I think I got into hardstyle off like the old Hardwell, where he closes sets with them, and I like that.
Yeah. Same with Armin.
And like the Showtech hardstyle that they've made in the past. I love that stuff. But when you get into pure hardstyle where it's really raw, it's like, Jesus. You know what I mean?
So open my window.
So what, you reckon hardstyle then?
I think so. I can see a little movement.
Yeah.
The people I follow and stuff, they're all into hardstyle.
Really?
And you see it Creamfields, the stages creeping up, hardstyle stages. I can see it taking over, I can.
Yeah. Well, already, all of the main stages, they're always closing with hardstyle, leaving the big room DJs.
Yeah.
So.
What I'm into, obviously, produce progressive, but what I like playing is like deep house.
Oh, really?
Artists like Keanu Silva, Raven and Cryan, that kind of stuff.
Like the hexagon stuff.
Yeah. The groovy bass lines and stuff. That's what I love playing. Yeah.
That's interesting because you could end up having your stuff played on the main stage by Nicky, but then be playing some deep, dark tech house stage in Tomorrowland where there's 70 people in a cave somewhere.
Exactly.
I know what you mean because I had a similar conversation where I was saying to one of the lads that I, obviously the reason I'm into this and my main passion is big room and progressive. Those are like my two that really get me going and electro. And like the main goal for me is, like you say, the big festival stages. But I'd also love, like, this is something I'm going to be starting as well, certainly when things reopen. Like all the local pubs in the area, so like round my way, in the Midlands area, they're all sort of in the countryside kind of thing. So they've all got quite big pub, beer gardens even. So I'm literally just going to go up. I'm going to get a, XDJRX, like mixer.
Oh yeah,
the
the
all-in-one
console thing.
Pioneer. That's it.
Yeah.
Like screen in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to get one of them, like just with like the suitcase thing. Because like it's the most common one you see, the portable one that people have with the one screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to get one of them. That's it. So I'm going to get one of them as well. I'm just going to take them literally. I had plans to do it last year, but obviously got cancelled. And to go into these pubs and places like that and just literally play deep house, tech house, and the groovy stuff as well. Like Crider.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. All the DOD, Corey James kind of kind of stuff. I'd love to play those sort of things. I think it'd be class.
That'd be class, man. Some big speakers.
Yeah. But that's it. Again, it's not so much jumping up in the air and going crazy. It's more sort of like just having a bit of a boogie, having a bit of a groove. I'd love to be able to do that. So I've got a bit of a game for you now. So I'm going to say two subgenres of dance music, and I want you to explain them to someone who knows nothing about dance music at all. Okay? I just explain it as best as you can, but you can't obviously play them a track from that subgenre. So it has to be a real good description. Someone says to you, like I'll give you the first one. Someone says to you, "What is progressive house?" You've got to explain to them exactly what it is in your mind, what it means to you and what it is. Help someone understand what progressive house is who's never known anything about dance music.
So is that what we're starting on?
Yeah, progressive house.
Uplifting, happiness, energetic, happiness. Yeah. It's everything to me. It's what I do every day. Yeah. It's just, I don't know, my one true love.
And what would you say to someone who's never heard it before? What would be like the first words that would come to mind? Obviously, happiness is what it invokes for you and me, but
3 words. Listen to it. put on, progressive track.
Yeah.
See what it does.
And
if you're in a shit mood, put a progressive track on.
Yeah, that's fair. To be fair. And then if somebody had never ever known about dance music before, and then all of a sudden they turned to you and said, "What's hardstyle?"
Oh,
got to explain hardstyle.
170 BPM, bang 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 bang. Headache music, really.
That's a good description.
If you want a headache, just listen to hardstyle.
You're not a big fan then?
No.
That's a good description. Fair play. I've been looking for people to say something like that, and that's one of the best descriptions of a subgenre I've had.
That's what it is.
Okay, sweet. And then the next game I want to play with you, final game I want to play. I'm going to get my saw on now. I want to play a game. So I'm going to list a load of different subgenres, and I just want you to say the first word that comes to mind. You don't have to think too much about it. Just the first word that comes to mind. You can say a phrase if you think there's a phrase, and you can elaborate slightly if you need to. But ideally, the first word that comes to mind. Okay?
Okay.
First one, future bass.
Exciting. Yeah.
Groove/funk.
Boring. Not really my thing.
Tropical house.
Different.
Okay.
Yeah, different.
Happy hardcore.
Mm, not my thing.
Okay.
No.
Trap.
Remove it from the scene. It don't belong in the EDM scene, honestly.
I,
Just
I
create the new scene, you know?
agree. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. Thankfully, it's not that big in the UK. It's
Yeah, I
massive
know.
in
It's big in
America.
America, ain't it?
Massive. That's probably the main thing that they have over there is trap. But
Yeah.
here, thankfully, it ain't that big, and hopefully it stays that way because I can't stand it.
Start a new scene with her.
Yeah.
Don't bring it into the EDM scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Too right. I couldn't agree more, mate.
Yeah.
Next one, drum and bass.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's I'd say it's fast, upbeat, not far off hard style, just a bit more. It's a lot of drums and
What I
weird
always say,
sounds.
what I always say for drum and bass, my word, is busy.
Yeah, there's a
Lot
lot
going
going
on.
on in the mix.
Lot going on.
Yeah.
Busy.
I love drum and bass. My
Really?
first love. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I used to love drum and bass.
Because that's the thing for me. I can't stand drum and bass because that's the only thing that's ever been available in this country. When you go to like clubs or whatever, like the normal thing that they'll play, or the most regular thing that they'll play if it's dance music is either house or drum and bass. And I'm like, I don't want to hear this. I want to hear big room. I want to hear progressive. I want to hear electro. And all I hear is drum and bass. So I've got sick of it quickly. Because me, and we'll get to this in a second, but I have kind of lumped in 3 subgenres that I just keep it in America. I don't bring it over here. Trap, drum and bass, and dubstep.
Yeah.
Keep that shit over there. I don't like
Dubstep's American, ain't it?
Oh, I can't stand it. It's absolute shite, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And thankfully,
I've got to be in the mood for that.
funnily enough, it might be a bit of a tangent, but have you listened to like Skrillex stuff over the past couple years?
I listened to Skrillex since his last album, Reese's.
Because like since then, the stuff that he's made since then, like in the past 2 years, like he made like I think it was like Bombay or something like that. It was like an Indian name to it or something. But it was sick. Like it was a really class track. It weren't dubstep. It was almost like a future bass, I guess.
He's talented, man.
And it was really good. Like I enjoyed it. It was my favourite song that I've heard from him. But like all the old dubstep, I can't stand that shit. Because that's all you'd hear in high school is just loaded dubstep. And it's just not for me whatsoever.
Skrillex I used to love his stuff.
Really?
Mm.
Well, with that being said then, what one word would you describe dubstep in?
Energetic. Yeah. It's like high BPM again, ain't it? Like drum and bass.
It's like what, 45, isn't it? Something like that.
And there's weird sounds again. Same thing as drum and bass. Weird bass line sounds and stuff.
Okay. Techno.
Hold on. Let me just get the pillow on the dance floor.
I love that.
The same beat for an hour.
Sleepy.
No big build up. No big drop. Just the same beat.
It's boring as shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Honestly.
Like there's so many kids. It's got such a big following, and I like when you're at Creamfields or whatever, you go into the art stage or whatever to see like Hardwell or whatever, and you're passing the Steel Yard and it's packed full of people that are just listening to that on end, and you're like, why has this got such a big following? It's like
I like what Camel Fat are doing, and like Fisher and Salado.
Right.
I watched Salado at Creamfields in was it the Steel Yard? I think it was, or the generator.
Yeah.
That was, it was tech, but it was exciting a bit,
I don't know.
Good sounds and stuff.
Bores me. It's really just the same thing constantly. And like some people say that about like EDM and big room, it's really not. Like, you do get different sounds and different tracks, and different artists have different sounds. Techno is just
Yeah,
and then
fair enough.
occasionally you'll get some guy say 5 words, and then it'll go. It's like, oh my God. Oh, you're so deep, aren't you?
That's what I like about progressive. It's all about melodies, ain't it? You go up, then you go down.
The journey.
Yeah, journey. Yeah.
It's like
Throughout the set.
it's like you're going around a bendy road on a mountain and you're in a Ferrari. The techno is like you're just on a road that never ends, and it's just straight as can be. You're gonna fall asleep because you're just at the wheel and you just go. You need to do like the Mr. Bean and put the toothpicks in your eyes, like.
Yeah.
Funnily enough,
not to be a genre snob or anything, but it's boring.
Well, that's the funny thing. I think, if anything, the biggest genre snobs are people that are big into techno, I find. They're like, oh, you're into that EDM.
Judgmental.
Yeah. Because funnily enough, my phrase for techno, I think you'll agree with this, is never ending.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So next one is bass house.
It could be the future. Yeah.
I agree.
I like bass house. I don't know. It's just the melody is the bass line, ain't it? It's I don't know. It's different. I like it, to be honest.
Like a breast.
I'd love to produce that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to make that.
Who would you say like your favourite bass house guy is at the moment you've been listening to?
One sec. I play stuff like that all the time, you know, in my sets. There's artist called Crossnaders. Crossnaders, yeah. They released one called World Party.
Oh, really?
I've listened to that afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, after this.
Bloody hell.
That's the bass line's gritty and boom, boom. Kirby, I like what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's talented again. Don't blow up to be a big DJ. Got talent.
He's impressive.
I like what Medusa's doing.
Okay.
I liked his track Paradise. I don't know. The sounds. He's got new sounds that no one else has got. It's different.
The next one is psytrance. What would you say psytrance in one word?
Energetic. I like psytrance. Yeah, definitely. I like what Vinny Vici are doing. They're like the gods of it, aren't they, at the minute?
What they're doing is sick, man. It's awesome to see that those guys have made a genre that was tiny explode. Because I don't know anyone that listened to psytrance before they came about. They've just made it explode.
It's good, man.
Then the next one is just trance.
Uplifting, happy, energetic, you know, it's powerful trances. That really can tug on your heartstrings.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's special trances.
Next one, one word for hardstyle.
One word. Upbeat, high tempo.
Okay.
High tempo. It's really boom, 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 boom.
Hard style, my one word is thunder.
Yeah.
That's
literally is, ain't it? Literally.
Yeah. Next one, big room.
Big room. Not so much anymore, but it used to be one of the best genres. I used to love big room. Every big room track I used to play. Yeah.
What would you say if you had to encapsulate it in one word? Big room.
Melodies.
Okay.
Yeah, melodies.
I'd have applied that to progressive. I wouldn't have applied that to big room, probably.
Big rooms more. I think there's more focus on the melody and the sounds of the melody.
Okay. Next one is deep house.
Deep house.
One word.
One word. I don't know. That's hard, man. One word.
Again, you're thinking.
deep house. It's just a vibe, man. It's just something you play in the club, or something that I'd play anyway.
You think of one word that would encapsulate deep house?
Chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
Okay.
It's chill music.
And then you got to get this one, because this is the main one. You've got to get one word down for this. This got to be a big one. One word for progressive house.
Electric.
Okay.
Energetic. That's 2 words, but
I'll allow it. My one word for progressive house: happy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like genuinely, there's all the other genres. They give you emotions. Like deep house, you want to go, and same with like bass house and all these other stuff. It makes you go, yeah. And like big room hardstyle, you want to jump to it and go crazy. But I think progressive is the only one that actually invokes a happy emotion where you just go. I don't think there's any other type of music on earth that does that.
Tugs on the heartstrings, don't it?
Yeah,
progressive.
Exactly.
Same with trance.
Exactly. All right, that's perfect. I think that's about everything then. So, can you tell the people what you've got coming up? Have you got anything you're working on? Anything in the future for people to be interested in and look forward to? What are your plans for the future?
Yeah. We can't really do much at the minute, can we? But I am sitting on some big tracks.
Okay, lovely.
Ideas, melodies. Yeah, I got all sorts in my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned, because I might sign something to a label someday soon. Who knows?
That's it. I think, like you said before, the fact that you're linked up with Nicky Romero is next level. Like most people can't say that. So you got something going good for you. So keep hammering away at it.
It's funny because I won them Tiesto decks, don't I?
Yeah.
Signed their decks.
That's so
and
cool.
In 2015, I won signed Beats by David Guetta. Shall I show you?
You win everything, man. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Shall I show you?
Bloody hell.
Oh, the Beats mixer.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. So.
Fuck. Jesus.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was in 2015. I won that.
And you've got your signed decks, haven't you? You've got signed Nexus decks. That is unreal.
Signed decks, man.
Tiesto. Did you get to go backstage with Tiesto or something at Creamfields or meet him or something?
I got the gold camping tickets, didn't I?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is unreal, man. Unreal. You got signed Tiesto decks and signed David Guetta headphones.
I'll turn the camera.
Oh my God! Look at them bad boys.
Oh, I got a second mixer in the flight case. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll turn it back.
Jesus. Bloody hell, boys.
Yeah, so I'm good at winning competitions.
That's something that most people can only dream of.
I know, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Cool, man.
I think the best thing I've got a couple things. Like I've got a signed Nicky Romero flag. Because I went at Creamfields 2019. I think you were there, weren't you, when Nicky played?
Yeah.
In that circular silo thing. And
you met him there?
Yeah. I had my Nicky Romero flag and I was putting it up.
Nice.
Pointing down.
I had the flag as well.
I ran upstairs. To the side bit where they were kind of walking in and out, and shouted at him. I went, "Nicky, you signed my flag!" And he came over and he signed my flag, and I got a photo with him with it signed. I got that, and then I've also got a signed bass jackers hat. That's cool. Yeah, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I love bass jackers.
I think those two are probably my coolest pizza merchandise.
I've
got those two are my coolest ones. Like I've got a merch box of like different.
Me, yeah.
Like like that you collect and stuff. Those are probably my two main pieces, and then after that, I've just got random shit. Like I've got the beer bottle that Nervo drank out of, and then they gave to me at their show. And I was like, I have to keep this. And then I've got like I've got like bottle openers from Afrojack and different things like that. Just stupid shit. But yeah, man,
impressive,
it's
man.
oh man. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah, thanks for
Hopefully
having me on.
everybody got to know the man that is Reewil
Reewil.
a little bit more.
Yeah,
And
that's it. Yeah, thanks for
I'll
having
have
me on.
another catch up with you again in maybe a few months, maybe 6 months, depending on how things go with what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, man.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.